Hey, it's Sarah Stovetop. How are you? Welcome to episode 121 of Tool Time Tuesday, live from my kitchen. And I have a couple things to show you that I think you'll enjoy. I hope you will. And a couple things to say, too. First of all, how are you practicing social distancing? This is the time when it's a weird time and we're all trying to figure it out. And I'm not practicing social distancing with my dog, and here he is. Hi, Hobbs. So he's ready for his biscuit. So that's the thing we have to do when we start the broadcast. So hold on, I'll let you see him. Okay, Hobbs, come on camera. Oops. Okay, ready? There you go. Good boy. Okay, so that's the first thing we have to do every time. So feel free to type in the chat because I'll look in the comments and see what you are doing to practice social distancing. And I'm going to tell you about my day. So today, oh my gosh, I actually got a lot done today. I worked on my taxes. That needs to get done. I cleaned out a cabinet, which was definitely in desperate need of being cleaned. A lot of old electronic stuff in there I have to give away. I took Hobbs for a couple of nice long walks. I practiced piano, and let's see, I did an hour of yoga, and I made dinner, frozen pizza, but I still made dinner. We were going to try and support one of our local restaurants and order out or do the drive up thing where they come out and actually, you order ahead and then they bring it to your car. But they closed at 6 o'clock, and all the restaurants are closed except for either carry out or drive out or whatever you call it, and drive up. And we just couldn't get there by 6. So that's why I had frozen pizzas. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing to practice social distancing. I'd love to know what you're doing. I can see my husband is on and he's staying close to me, which is always good. So anyways, so that's what I did today, but I wanted to show you one other thing that I did, and that was I made Jerusalem artichoke chips. How about that? So I wanted to, actually, I'll bring you over to a little bit closer so you can see. I used my my air fryer, my deluxe air fryer, which is my new best friend. And I got a recipe off of, a lot of times I will go on the internet to get recipes because if Pampered Chef doesn't have a recipe, it's out there somewhere. So I found this recipe, and it's courtesy of Meatless Makeovers. That's the name of the website. And I actually saved it on my Pinterest page. So I have a Pinterest page for air fryer recipes that I'm starting to populate and accumulate. So if you're interested in that, I'm Sarah Stovetop on Pinterest, and then you can find my that air fryer recipes board on there too. And I'll try and drop the link in the notes afterwards. Anyways, so I thinly sliced. First of all, I scrubbed the sunchokes, or they're also called sunchokes or Jerusalem artichokes. They're actually the tuber or the root system of a sunflower. So who knew? They're not from Jerusalem. They're just, I don't know why they're named that way. But anyways, I scrubbed them really good. I dried them. And then I sliced them very thin using my simple slicer, which is like a mandolin. And then I put them in with about a cup and a half of apple cider vinegar. And the apple cider vinegar, I'm just checking to see if there's any new. No. Okay. Apple cider vinegar has, I soaked them for like 15 minutes, and then I spread them out. I drained them. I used my salad spinner to get all the excess moisture off, put a little bit of olive oil on them so that when they come out, they'll have a little, that will help the salt stick to it. Plus it helps them cook a little bit. And I think I cooked them a little bit too warm. I had a batch that got a little too crispy, but the original recipe says 400 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Well, after about 7 minutes. They were pretty crispy. So I had to cut back on that. Next time I make them, I may either slice them a little bit thicker because I did it on the thinnest one, which is really thin, and I will show you in just a second. Or I will turn down the heat a little bit, which is what I ended up doing in less time. So here's what they look like on the rack that goes into our air fryer. And they look a lot like potato chips, don't they? But then I put them in here. I'm going to show you what I do with them. So I'll put the rest of those in here. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of salt on them. And I have that special salt I got when I was in Croatia, which I love. And just kind of squish them around. Now, this is the last batch. And the first couple of batches have already been eaten by my husband and me. But they're really tasty. Look at how delicious they look. I'm going to turn this up. See? Isn't that delicious? And you probably can hear it's crunchy. So that's what I was doing. It's a nice snack. Really tasty, actually. I like that. I like that method of soaking them in the apple cider vinegar. And I think I might try that with just regular potatoes. Why not? It'll be like that. Vinegar and salt and vinegar chips. Same idea. So delicious. All right, now I wondered what you're doing for social distancing, but I haven't seen too many comments up. Don't be shy. Feel free to let me know. Anyway, I had a couple other ideas for you. So I told you about my day, and these are things that I'm going to be doing in the next week or so. And so I thought I'd give you some ideas too. So I'm going to try and clean out a closet or a drawer or a cabinet a day, because you're here, you may as well do it. It's a good time to get organized. But I'm talking about organization in the kitchen and kind of figuring out like how you're going to prepare all these meals during this time, because we can't eat out. We can't eat out. We can order in or pick up, but you're not going to do that every day. So, but definitely do that to support your local businesses who are trying to stay open in some way. And I feel so much for the people who are working jobs where, if they don't work, they don't get paid. So, anyways, here are some ideas about what to do in your house. Take an inventory of all the food that you have and break it down into different categories. And, we've got veggies, we've got meat, protein sources, canned goods, frozen, breakfast items, snacks. And then once you've accumulated this list, you kind of know what you've got. And then meal planning is so much easier that way. You can just basically pick one from column A, B, and C kind of thing. So you've got your protein. Let's say tonight it's shrimp. You have frozen shrimp. And you want to pair that with some rice dish. You've got rice in the cabinet. Or, and then, of course, add a vegetable. Maybe it's asparagus tonight. Next night it's broccoli. Whatever you have that, helps you kind of accumulate and figure out what you want to prepare. Make a meal plan for the week. And you can do that protein for every day of the week. So I just came up with a list of proteins. Let's see, where is my list? Protein sources. Okay, chicken, shrimp, beef, pork, eggs, cheese, and tofu. That's 7 different protein sources. Of course, there's beans too, legumes, and so forth. So that's 8. And then, slot one for each day. And that can be whatever your dinner is going to be. And then, you can see what other items you have. Go searching for a recipe. Use Pinterest. Use the web, because use the Paper Chef website. Did you know you can go into my website and you can actually search by ingredients or by the tool you want to use? Like, let's say and I do this all the time because I send recipes to my customers who've purchased something. Let's say someone bought the air fryer and I wanted to send them a recipe. I would just search under air fryer recipes, and I can send them a whole bunch of recipes. So that's a good way, if you don't want to heat up your kitchen, use the air fryer, use the deluxe cooking blender where you can make a great soup. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be making mushroom soup because I know I've got some mushrooms in the refrigerator. So definitely like plan out your week, and whichever protein source, start with the protein because that's kind of like the biggest recipe that you're going to do. And then you can add potatoes one night, you can add rice one night, you can do quinoa, and then fill in with your vegetables. It just makes it so much easier to, and this is what I used to do when I worked, a full-time job where I was in the city all the time. I had to shop 1 week at a time. It was a lot, actually, it's somewhat easier than it is now, because sometimes today at 4 o'clock, I'm going, oh my goodness, what am I going to cook for dinner? And I'm going to the, I'm not planning it as well as I used to, but this is what I used to do. And so I recommend it, even if you're going to be home all day, then at least you know what your day is going to look like. And you can plan out when you need to start. Is the recipe going to take an hour? Okay, I got to start by 5 o'clock so I can have dinner on the table by 6. So it's kind of working backwards. And I hope these are good suggestions for you. I mean, it's basically what's in your cabinets, what's in your fridge, what's in your freezer. And it's also a great time to clean those out, essentially by eating the food that's there and organizing it. Like, I know my freezer has a lot of stuff in it right now that, I've made a lot of soups and broths and stuff. And I've bought quite a few things in preparation for this time when we're all going to be kind of staying at home. And so I'm realizing that it needs to be defrosted. So at some point, we'll be eating down everything that's in there and then defrosting it and starting all over again. So those are a few of the tips that I have for you. The other things is, I know you're home with kids, cook with them. They love to cook. It makes it messy, yes, but it is so much fun, and you will build some memories at a time when, and you'll have some laughter at a time when it's really important to try and stay above the fray and, find some good things to do that will, make everybody feel better. And food, for the most part, always makes people feel better. So I hope you'll join me next week on Tool Time Tuesday. I will add another recipe, show another tool. Now is a great time for partying online. If you're interested, I would absolutely love, drop a comment below and let me know if you would like me to come into your home virtually, and we can cook together with you and your friends. So that's all I've got for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on Tool Time Tuesday. I'm Sarah Stovetop. It's been really a pleasure being with you. I'm going to check to see if there's any other. Oh, hello, Hilda. Okay, I didn't see. I'm on two different. The computer over here, and I'm talking into my phone so that I can maneuver that around. I didn't need it quite as much this time, but I'm getting used to it. Anyway, so glad to see you. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. I'm going to go eat some of these Jerusalem artichokes because they're really good. And they say to eat them right away. So I will do that. They probably don't taste as good the next day. Have a wonderful evening. See you next week. Stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you next time. Bye.